Yawen, thank you very much for joining us on such a busy day. We understand that you might be having a lot of commitments related to your journalism today because today is the big day. First, let our audience know what is going on in China. Why am I saying that today is a big day and coming days might be bigger?
Yes, actually, today here in Beijing, actually in Tianjin, is the 2025 SCO Summit is taking place in Tianjin, China, from August 31st to September 1st. And summit is a historical marks a historical milestone because this is the largest summit in the SCO's history, with over 20 heads of state from Asia, Europe, and Africa, alongside with leaders from 10 major international organizations gathering to discuss pressing regional and global issues. So this is not only a major international event, but also a strategic platform for the world to refocus tensions on the global south, on its development, on its security issue, and of course, to its growing voice in global affairs. So let me just share a little bit about the background info of the SCO Summit. It was established in 2001, but its roots goes back to 1996 when China, Russia, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan created this Shanghai Five to address post-Cold War border security challenges. And then on July 15, 2001, the organization officially became the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or in short, the SCO, with Uzbekistan joining as the sixth member and making it the first international organization named after a Chinese city. And then 24 years later, the SCO has grown into the world's largest comprehensive regional cooperation body. And today, 26 countries in the SCO family represent nearly half of the global population, cover about a quarter of the world's landmass, and account for about one-fourth of the global GDP. So we have seen the growing influence of the SCO rapidly in recent years. So from six founding members, now the SCO has become a 26, a big family of 26 countries spanning three continents. And this remarkable growing is rooted in the Shanghai spirit, which is the guiding principle for that emphasize mutual trust, mutual benefit, equality, consultation, respect for diverse civilizations, and pursuit of common development. So with that, also another key principle of SEO is not targeting any third party, non-aligned, non-confrontational. So this unique position allows countries with diverse political system and development stage to work together, and it has yielded fruitful outcomes. For instance, I look at that. I look up the data. So on the aspect of economic cooperation, in the first 7 months of this year, the trade between China and other SU member countries reached nearly 300 trillion, $300 billion dollars. And that's about 2% increase year on year under this very, lagging economic background. Meanwhile, China's direct investment stock in SEO countries has exceeded about $40 billion, supporting a wide range of projects from traditional sectors like energy, infrastructure, to emerging fields like digital economy and green development. So another very major function of SEO is the security front. So the SEO remains a stabilizing force across Eurasia. So, for instance, this regional anti-terrorist structure, or in short, RATS, plays a pivotal role in combating the three forces: terrorism, separatism, and extremism. So only from between 2013 to 2023, the rats helped foil over 600 potential terrorist attacks and dismantled more than 100 terrorist training camps, significantly boosting regional cooperation on security. So today, under the background of global governance, the SCO is also providing a pivotal platform for global South countries to express their views in multilateral forums. And at this year's Tianjin Summit, the 2025 SCO Tianjin Summit, um, is expected to release joint statements such as Tianjin Declaration and also the roadmap for the future 10 years of development, as well as a joint statement marking the 80 years anniversary of the victory in the World Anti-Fascist War and also Chinese People's War of Resistance against the Japanese aggression, also 80 years, as well as the founding of the UN, which reaffirming its strong support for UN-centered international system and rules-based international order. So today, I think the highlights of the SCO's identity is the highlights of SCO's evolving identity is not just about a regional security mechanism, but also as an increasingly relevant actor in shaping a more just, inclusive, and sustainable global order. We can see in back in when it was Shanghai Five, and now it has transformed into a multilateral platform that drives not only security but security to ensure security, but also drives economic development. So and also amplify the global voice of its member states. So it has created this new model of cooperation, partnership instead of alliance, and also dialogue rather than confrontation. So I think this is a very significant event to pay attention to.
I just wanted to like remind our audience that in the background of all this, we see a tariff war, we see a lot of going on. So this SEO brings a lot of value and weight to the table because these days are a very tough days globally speaking, geopolitically speaking. Having said that, there are a lot of pictures emerging from China. We are seeing the big boys of the world land in China, coming out of their aeroplanes, being received by Chinese officials. Can you name us how many leaders have made it to China till now? I've heard the Pakistani Prime Minister is there now. Modi landed yesterday.
Yes,
So yeah, could you like explain the only
yeah.
the big boys that you remember off the top of your head?
Yes, so actually starting Friday, as you mentioned, Pakistani Prime Minister Sharif, he's like starting Friday, including Saturday and over the weekend, leaders from Pakistan, India, Russia, um, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, and like a number, oh, as I said, over 20 countries, Turkey, and Egypt. Like I'm just
Okay.
naming a few here. Like heads of state from Asia, from Africa, from other Eurasian continent. They're all here to participate. And actually, starting yesterday on Saturday, Chinese President Xi Jinping have already started bilateral meeting with countries' leaders, like who came here to participate in the SCO in Tianjin. So this is a great opportunity
Yeah.
for heads of state to meet together to discuss those topics.
Can you can you
Yeah.
can you name a few people whom President Xi Jinping had a meeting with?
Oh, yes, as I said, actually, President Xi had already met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and they have discussed bilateral relations. For instance, Prime Minister Modi, he said that President Xi, firstly, he talked about that China and India, they as the world's two most populous countries, they should be partners rather than rivals. And he also describes China and India as dragon and elephant that must come together to promote peace, prosperity, and multipolarity. In the meantime, Prime Minister Modi told President Xi that India was committed to progressing the two countries' relations based on mutual respect and trust and sensitivities. And this is very significant to have the bilateral meeting because it happens against the background that the Trump administration had just doubled tariffs on Indian imports to 50% as punishment for purchasing Russian oil. So many see this bilateral meeting between President Xi and Modi as a great opportunity for the two countries to enhancing their trust and bilateral cooperation, and believe that India can also, further enhances cooperation not only with China but also with other Asian countries in the region.
So, how are the? This is gonna be a very like a tricky question, so you can be very candid about it. How are the people of China taking Prime Minister Modi's arrival in China, especially after what happened between Pakistan and India? The weapons being used during the skirmish between Pakistan and India, we had a J-10C and we had rockets from we got it from China. So, how are the people looking at this? Is there any political feelings towards this? Because it's a very big thing coming over your disagreements and trying to start trade. That's a very big thing to do. So, what do the Chinese people say and think of this?
Well, I think Chinese people, like both India and Pakistan, are great neighbors, like with China in the region. So we want to have this solid bilateral relations with both Pakistan and India, especially the two countries are all member states of the SCO um, mechanism. So this is going to be a great opportunity. We're not sure if two leaders from India and Pakistan are going to have a bilateral meeting during the SCO. We will have to see. But I think Chinese people, we want to see a regional peace and stability, and we do not want to have any third party or external forces to interfere in the kind of hard-on stability in the region, because we know this year also marks the 80 years of anniversary of Chinese People's War of resistance against the Japanese aggression. China became where it is today through very hard, tough time, and it had suffered. Not only China, but also surrounding Asian countries had experienced the war in the past few decades. So this hard-won peace must be cherished, and um, it's unfortunate to see the conflict between Pakistan and India due to some historical issues. But what we're focusing now is to rebuild trust, and to maintain peace in the region.
Obviously, China and India both are one of the biggest players of Asia, and this would mean a lot. Let's talk about other things. How do you think other people would be taking this? Do you have any idea of the people or the government of America? Any statements coming from the US on the SEO or other things?
Well, so far, because um, like SEO happens from August the 31st to September 1st is a 2-day summit. So there are still a lot of solid declarations, such as the Tianjin Declaration, and also another joint statements are waiting to be seen. So since there are no, um, we haven't seen the final statement out of the summit. I'm not sure like you said, the United States have already shared their opinion on the summit, but I think they do view SEO as a emerging regional, I'll say, platform or body that could somehow balance the what we usually see the traditionally Western-centered global governance or global system. So SEO had, as I mentioned, due to its influence, is right 26 countries joining the SEO big family, and due to its population, geography, economic influence, is becoming more and more influential. Of course, some Western countries, they're not happy to see about it because it could, I would say, reduce their dominance or hegemonic power in the region. But I think this could be a great opportunity for countries in the platform in this organization to have a word on their own issue, to take the power of development rights, their sovereignty, their foreign policy, right to their people's own hand to have a word on the global affairs.
Amazing. So let's like jump straight into the parade. Why are you guys having a parade? We see a lot of preparations going on for the parade. You are talking about the 80 years of the resistance against the Japanese. Could you like align us on that? What is happening?
Sure. So, this year marks the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Chinese People's War of resistance against the Japanese aggression and also the World Anti-Fascist War. I remember I joined your program last time. We discussed the two movies to commemorating these events. One of the Dead to Rights, another is Rescue Dongji Island, a Dongji Island Rescue. These are all the movies to commemorate this event. So um, other after SCO, because of the two events are very close to each other in terms of their the time they're occurring. So after the SCO summit, about 26 heads of state and government leaders, they will participate in this grand commemoration on September 3rd in Beijing. And China has also invited extended special invitation to international friends and families who supported China during the Second World War, and about 50 representatives from 14 countries, such as from the United States, United Kingdom, France, Russia, Canada. They will all attend as honored guests. And I believe one of the highlights that not only domestic audience but also international audience they pay attention to is the military parade
Yeah.
that's going to happen at the Tiananmen Square on September 3rd. Yeah, so that parade will showcase all domestically produced active duty Chinese military equipment. In addition to the modern conventional weapons, the parade will feature cutting edge capabilities such as AI powered unmanned systems, underwater warfare technologies, and cybersecurity, cyber electronic operations, and also hypersonic platforms. These informations have all been displayed by the press conference already over the past few days, so that it could demonstrate China's growing innovation and military readiness. So far, three full-scale rehearsals have been completed here in Beijing, and those people who are going to be participating in the parade, and also the equipment are all ready to be, are weighted in the excellent condition. So we're very looking forward to that. Another highlight I would say is the official commemoration gala that's going to happen at the Great Hall of the People on the night of the September 3rd. Where senior party and state leaders and war veterans, honored citizens, representatives from all walks of life will gather and together to enjoy this historic occasion.
The world has its eyes locked on the military equipment and military technology that China is about to show on that day. A lot of speculations on a lot of things, especially AI related weapons and electronic warfare weapons. So, yeah, we're also looking forward, especially after what happened between India and Pakistan. All the equipments were used from China. So, how do you see this as a whole? The both of these events, this is like pretty good progression from China. This is like China making itself pretty firm and strong and displaying its connections as well.
Um, I think for China, the military parade um, and unveiling its new equipment is a signal to show that China has the ability to defend itself, to maintain peace, not only for its own country, but also for the region, even for the world. So I do hear some voices, especially in the Western media, saying that the military parade kind of signal that China is maybe is planning on its military expansion. I think that's very observed to say that because if you look at the recent history, the modern history, China has never actively launched a war against another country. It had all of the wars in modern history China had participated in is due to defense itself, its sovereignty, and also or help its neighbors. So this military parade, I think it demonstrates the progress China's defense modernization, but not aggression. It's meant to showcase its commitment to peaceful development and its resolve to safeguard national sovereignty and its capability to contribute to the regional stability and global peace. So, as I said, China's military has always been defensive in nature, not aimed at seeking sphere of influence or provoking confrontation. Another thing I want to share is that you mentioned those cutting edge technologies like unmanned AI systems or cyber capabilities. Um, I think these kind of cutting edge technologies reflects China's response to emerging threats and the evolving nature of modern warfare. It highlights the military focus on strategic deterrence and future readiness rather than expansionism. And and also like all these kind of equipment on display is domestically made and currently in active duty. I think this is a very important signal to show that achievements China's independent defense industry and its efforts to improve possession, adaptability, and efficiency on the battlefield. So I think ultimately the parade sends a message of confidence and peace and its determination to peaceful development, but not like expansion. And it reflects China's legitimate efforts as a sovereign nation to defend its security and development interests, but not to threaten others, but to support regional peace and global stability.
So, who would be coming from the US side on the parade? Do you have any information on that? And on the parade, I remember President Putin was present last time. Would he be present this time as well? Just information on the parade day. Who do you think would be there?
Well, so far I haven't like because I look it online, I haven't saw any information that any senior U.S. officials are going to participate in. We will have to wait and see if Chinese Foreign Ministry going to release the information in the coming days. But yes, Russian President Vladimir Putin, he's going to come to Beijing after the SCO Summit in Tianjin to participate in this commemoration because we know during the Second World War, China and back then the Soviet Union joined together to combat the Japanese fascism. So, as President Putin said, China's contribution during the Second World War, because of China, is like is because Chinese like soldiers and its people's determination and fight against the Japanese aggression kept the military forces in China so that Japanese fascism, the militaries, they don't have extra energy or weapons to go in further invade Russia so that Soviet Union can reserve its military power to fully combat with German fascism. So I think what President Putin, what he is trying to show is that as major powers in the region, Russia is willing to join with China either through the SCO platform or to show up at the commemoration event to demonstrate its determination to safeguard peace in the region and to enhance the further cooperation. Because as I said, about 26 foreign leaders will come to participate in the commemoration. So I think the message is very strong here because it's not only about to honor the memory of those who sacrificed their lives during the Second World War, but also is a way to remind the future generations of the value of peace and to reaffirm China's commitment to upholding the post-war international order. And for China, the commemoration strengthens national pride and unity while also sending a message to overseas to global audience that China remains a firm defender of peace, sovereignty, and international stability. And those leaders who choose to participate in this commemoration event shows that the international recognition of China's pivotal role in the global victory against the fascism and the shared understanding of the history must not be forgotten. And also, it shows the world that the growing expectation for China to continue playing a constructive role in maintaining the global peace and order. So, this is not just a commemoration of the past, it's a call to collective responsibility in shaping a peaceful future based on historic truth and mutual respect.
Yawen, thank you very much for your time. I know it's a very busy day today and tomorrow and after that. So we are very thankful that you took out some time to share your ideas with us. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you for having me, Ali. It's a pleasure joining your program.